Baby steps.
Baby steps. Oh boy.
I'm funny in the wall.
The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care. The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
Yo everybody, what's up? Am I really loud? I don't know. I got a new audio device here that is hopefully making things louder, but let me know if it's too loud. It shouldn't be that loud. Anyway, welcome back. Didn't get to stream last week because I had a busy week at work. We launched the product I've been working on for the last year. It's a long time, I guess. But I shipped it out and then promptly fixed all of the bugs that I quickly found thereafter, like a good developer. They chose the launch day to be Friday, but I tried to get it done by Thursday because Friday was actually a Zoom out day, which means like no meetings and stuff like that. So it's no calls over the weekend. I think it's good. It's not full availability yet. It's just kind of a beta release, but it's the first time we've gone to production. But, so I took the weekend off. Today's actually a holiday. We have today off of work, so I spent most of today kind of prepping stuff for this stream. And today we're gonna look at Directus S3 storage integration. Hello, Mountain Trash Panda. How are you doing? How do the audio levels sound? Bien. Ah, good. That means good, eh? Yes. So, do I need to turn the drop sounds up? They're pretty quiet, I think. Do they sound normal to you? I don't know. So we're working on the Mega API. Last time we got it up to we were entering all the content. It's in there for the Fortune one. We're gonna make a request for that. That's pretty basic. It won't need a lot of stuff. We'll do that in a separate one. This one we're focusing on getting towards the media blog. So right now we're working on the cloud storage for files. So I wanted to be able to have an S3 bucket to do it. To set up, I don't know what happened. I can't view the dark mode in this browser anymore, and I don't know why. But we just need to add these S3 variables. But the harder part is really setting up all the S3 stuff. So I followed the instructions from a couple different docs to do that. I did it off stream because I didn't want to expose anything. I've never done it before. Oh, I can't paste in here, I forgot. I've never done it before in with an S3. So I didn't want to expose the stuff, so I did it off stream. But basically, you follow these with creating a bucket using the S3 console. You go here, and there's a few things you need to actually not a few things you need to set up before you do the bucket, but once you create your account, you create a root user account. They have some steps to try to get you to create like an administrator account and stuff as well. I created accounts after I did all this stuff, but you just create a bucket in there. It's pretty easy to do. The harder part was doing the permissions and such. So in there, I created this mega API bucket. I put it in the US West 1, and you can see it's warning me that it's public, which I do want it to be public to read. So in the media API, I'm gonna close that because I actually have it over here. In here, we have 3 folders. So by default, this whole bucket is not public, but these folders I made public. Temp is not public right now. Temp is just a test that I had to see if like I had some files that were available and some not. So for example, if I copy the URL, try to paste it in, it's gonna say access denied. This is in the temp bucket, but I have these same files in the sounds bucket. Copy the URL. Was that extremely loud? So those are publicly available. My overlays aren't working on these yet, but I would like to hook them up to that at some point. I just put these all in here for now to have a basic thing. But what I really want to do is I'm going to be uploading files to Media Blog. So there's nothing in there right now, but I went through and set up permissions on these. You get the warnings for public access because by default, they don't want people thinking something's private and then creating something publicly. So you have to opt into these. During the setup of the bucket, you kind of edit these and you can choose from these 4 boxes. I turned them all off. That's for default values in the future. I don't think any of that's required because I would basically, I had to create policies after, like access control lists and policies and stuff. And I'll show you a little bit about that. Oh shoot, I forgot to go in the architecture. Oh, we didn't even do the architecture review. This is the S3 bucket overview. Let's swap those and then let's say task next. I always got this task list that I never even follow. I just kind of go wild. So in my bucket policy, you can see here, this is where I added those permissions. I say S3 get object you can do that on these resources, which is those 2 folders that I said. Anything in those subfolders will be automatically public. Since I don't have temp in there, I can't get it on temp. So the whole bucket is not open. It's just those 2 folders for now. If I added a new folder, I would have to add more. Let's see what else is in here. The other thing I needed to set up was the IAM. So there's 2 user groups. I followed some documentation to create the administrators one. Do I have docs for that as well? Let's see what this one is. These were the other docs. Oh, adding the public stuff here. So to refer to that, that's where I got all the permission stuff set up. But also when setting up the IAM, there were some docs I followed somewhere that told me to set up the administrators and then assign administrator to it, which I did. So now I am logged in as the administrator. And that's because they don't want to give root access to people. So this is kind of like a safety precaution. But I also created the S3 bucket users. And then in here, they only have permissions on, this is the user, the Mega API user, and they get the permissions to Amazon S3 full access. So they don't get permissions to other services for now. Just did that in case I wanted to expand this in the future, but that's really it, is you assign it to a group, or you create a group, assign the permissions to the group, and then you can put users in that group. So I created the Mega API user separate, and there's some examples of them here. When you create that user, you add a new user. You pick the username, and then you can choose how they're going to access. So the Mega API is an access key, and that gives you the access key ID and the secret access key, which you're going to need for Directus later on in the next steps. If you do the password one, they could do both, I guess. If you do the password one, that allows them to log into this management console. So for the administrators, they have only the password, and for the Mega API, they have only the programmatic key, but you can add them later. So you go through that. It's a pretty easy process. On the next screen, it shows you list of apps to authenticate. I use an authenticator app. So you pick one of those. If you've already set it up for other apps, it's really easy to add a new one. If you haven't, setting up an authenticator app on your phone is decently easy, I believe. Hopefully it's not too much of a struggle, but that's just a way to have two-factor auth, multi-factor auth. So you can scan that app with it, set up the new user, and it allows you to connect it there, and then, yeah. So this is the whole part I've never done, but just Google searching it, I was able to find all the docs needed. It's pretty easy. The biggest hurdle is probably, if you're not familiar with clouds, like understanding the IAM is a common term for, just like user management of kinds, right? You have groups and users and roles and policies and all this stuff. It's all related to access things, so I guess you do need some knowledge on that. I could put together a little step-by-step guide, but I didn't want to go through it on stream to dox myself, so it was pretty easy. Overall, I'm sure there's some YouTube videos you can find for them. But now I think we have everything we need, and I'm ready to bring it back into Directus. But I want to show you the whole architect overview. So that was just the S3 bucket overview. I've already copied my keys and stuff. I've moved them over into Directus in here. So let me show you that real quick. Wrong button. I want code. So my storage locations is S3. I commented out the local ones. We're not going to need those anymore. S3 relates to this key right here, and this has to be capitalized. So it's going to look at all these values here: my key, my secret, my bucket, my region, and my endpoint that it uses. The ACL is a default ACL to apply to uploaded files, but since I'm managing it just by the folder, I don't think I care. But you can add like public read. In the example that I saw, it was like public read, and that would add that ACL to the object when it uploads it. Since I'm just managing it by folder name, I'm not gonna care, but we'll see if that becomes an issue later on. I don't think I changed anything there. The only other thing I have to do here is to push this up. And this is a railway app. I think I could just do railway up if it's still connected. And it should update my environment variables. The rest of the Directus code is just nothing. Nothing is customized. I only have to run this project locally, and then it connects to the database and everything and runs the code for me, all from the node packages. So there's no code in this project besides mainly the environment variables. The package JSON, I added one little thing, like I added this because they don't even give you a start script. But other than that, I haven't changed anything in here. Extensions is just a bunch of old empty folders, so if you want to build extensions, which we'll get to someday. So I haven't even pushed this code up to GitHub. It's just been pushed to Railway directly. But my env is basically all the secrets to everything. Sexy jazz, coming at you, sexy jazz with the hits and the sexy jazz channel, yeah. So we're hoping that once we have this connected and I can just upload images to my S3, we'll see. So I think that's it for the S3 bucket overview. I want to show you the architecture review. Well, I mean, as long as this thing finishes successfully, which I think it will eventually. Build completed, there it goes. Okay, deployment is live. So let me show you the architecture where draw.io, open an existing diagram. Where did I save this? To my desktop? There it is. So this is the beautiful diagram that I drew up today. How do I collapse this right side? So that I can close this. Okay, so there's nothing else above here, nothing else below here. I got it on the full screen here, so if you're interested. So here's what we got. Let's move on to the next task. I get excited. And we'll take a hydrate break. Okay, so this is the kind of, what the fuck is this? Cool, man. The structure that I have going on here. This is not necessarily everything that's implemented. Part of it is the future plans. So what we have implemented right now is this admin interface and REST API. Those are up and running. Those are both connecting to our PostgreSQL database up on Railway app. That's what we just deployed to. This is where our code is living as well. And the admin interface is going to connect with Amazon S3 storage. And then later on, I'm going to implement this should be image IX API. So this should be a layer on top of the Amazon S3 storage. What it does is this allows me to do transformations from images to various formats. So it'll do like double pixel ratio and responsive resolution sizes, and you can do crops and all kinds of really cool stuff with this. I plan to use this on the media blog. It's just basically URL based. You have all the cropped and kind of commands that you would want to do. So we would use a UI client for that in our media blog app down here. Our media blog app is going to pull from our REST API, pull the data from our REST API, and we're going to have to look at this to see how the files come through and how we handle them and stuff. But I think what it does is it'll give me a file URL, S3 URL down here in the media blog, and then we use the ImageX client library to make transformations to it, and then it will be displayed on the page down here. Otherwise, we have guides, which is that's a new data type that I want to create. It's going to be what powers my markdown content. Basically, on my website, I'm going to make it like a guides section, which is going to include guide to life, etc. That's just going to be a Next.js website pulling from the REST API. Fortune is what we built some of the data for previously. We're going to pull that. So these are all of our different apps down here. This is all the front end below this dotted line. The back end is above the dotted line. ImageX also has a backend API. If we need to do anything, there's a lot more things we can do. We can do all the same image transformations that we've done, that we'll do on the client side. But we can also do image management, like, I don't know what's actually included in the image management. Where do they talk about that? Developers Management API, they call it. Oh, I guess this is just adding sources, purging things, yeah, those kind of stuff. So this could be a really good extension for Directus at some point. Where do they talk about the extensions? We can create our own extension, and our extension could be ImageX extension. And I would like to be able to like save images generated from the ImageX API. Otherwise, we get kind of, I forgot how that pricing works, but I think it works off of, a number of renders or something, number of transactions, who knows? I forgot. We'll have to look at it. But they have that, these 3 APIs. The management is like managing the file kind of stuff, digital asset manager, I guess. And then the rendering API is what you use in the browser to crop and change and add watermarks and all those fancy image things you want to do. The video API is new, I believe. I don't know if this documentation should be up yet, but really all it does is just allow you to do HLS streaming. I'm not sure if I need that yet. They did talk about somewhere, right here. Now in limited availability. It was this year, and this allows you to compress and optimize and process videos and images. So I think it'll do like transcoding and stuff for you as well, which is interesting. If that is the case. That could be handy someday. Integration with S3 lets you store and manage both images and videos in your existing repository. Because the way ImageX works is it just reads the file from the original source. In this case, it would read the bucket file. I already closed the bucket thing. From that URL that you have in the browser, it would read that, manipulate it on their servers, and then display it on my front-end page. So it's available to enterprise customers. So hopefully it'll be available to public this year sometime. I don't need it yet anyway, but that's a cool feature. And that's kind of it right now. There's a lot more apps I plan to build off of the Mega API. These are the ones that I'm kind of focusing on. It's really just 2 use cases. One is a REST API. Neither of them require authentication. And then one is the media blog website, which doesn't require authentication to view, and it will render the ImageX. So this is where my images are going to end up eventually. But to get to this place, I needed to set up storage AWS S3, which we've done, and now I need to connect it to Directus, and I want to play with it and see how does the file uploads work? What kind of data do I get back? How am I going to implement this next part, basically? So that's where we're at. You dig? So, I know I've only been in for like half an hour, but I gotta do a bathroom break already. I didn't get to go before. So, let me do a BRB. We'll say feeding the cat. I didn't feed the cat, did I? Oh my God. Okay, I'm back. There's my OBS and my avatars and my cleared messages. Test start. Okay, play with the file uploads. I haven't. I mean, it deployed it. Let's test it and see if it's actually working now. Mega API. I think I can manage it in my user account. I can test here. Where do I update my... image? Oh, avatar. Skipped right over it. No items in my library. That's kind of interesting. It changed a couple times. Upload from device. Ooh, couldn't save file. Is there any other logs? I mean, like, how do I figure this? How do I figure out the errors? Is it railway logs? Railway logs. Define driver for S3 disk. Is that... a Directus error? I think it's a Directus error. Could be a bug. This is old too. That is old. Oh. Private? So I'm wondering if I do need the ACL config, and I should set it to something. Let me try, we are in the Directus. Okay. Did you hear that? I mean, I could try this because the... Oh, hey, Manny, how's it going? I could try this out because the repo or the bucket is private, but the folders are public. So maybe we'll need to do something like that. Save that. I'll do a railway up again. See if it fixes it. 'Cause that's the only thing I know to try. Hey Manny, those new emotes are nice. Is that supposed to be you or is that one of your animals? Waiting. Oh, childhood doggy, but wearing glasses. They're very cute. What was your childhood doggy's name? Like under the hood, they just do Heroku calls. I wonder if is Railway owned by Heroku? Is it a Heroku service? Her name is Lucy. Okay. So that's back. I don't know how quick it kicks in. Oh, this is not how I did it before, huh? Downloads in here. Is it this one? I think so. Okay. Let's see if we got new logs. Oh, Railway. I always get it mixed up because of the Google font name, Railway. Okay, maybe it just rebooted. The font name, right? Yeah, I really like Railway. It might even be what I'm using for my overlay, my ChedDev overlay. Nah, Zilla Slab. I think I usually start with Railway, but it's like one of the top recommended ones, so I wanted something a little more off the chart, but it's similar to that, I think. Oh no, this is not. It's not a slab font. I thought it was. But I do like it. .503. That's interesting. So this user is, yeah, it has the full access. But I made the token for the user specifically. Yeah, that unique W, yeah, I like that. You couldn't set a token for this level anyway. You'd have to set it for just the user level, which was fine. That's what I did. Is there anything more in here? Same error again. Service unavailable. I'm wondering about that ACL thing. Is that what the error still says? No, it says service unavailable. Oh, but it said the error in here, right? Yeah, make sure to define driver for S3 disk. Are my environment variables being pushed up? Is there an additional package that I need? Like Directus S3? So this is like installing it on the AWS platform up here, but that's not what we're doing. We're just configuring. I think it's in project settings. Files and storage. No. Config options. File storage. Oh, storage S3 driver. I missed that one. What's the point of calling the location S3 and then loading the driver? Okay. So, oh. Don't tell me more about that. Is it a lowercase S3 in theirs? Yes, it will. Will work. S3 is uppercased. Oh, storage S3 driver. And do I want a local root or an S3 root? Is that possible? Where to store the files on disk? I'm a little unsure if I want to force everything into media blog. I think I want to allow multiple things in here, so I'm gonna just leave the root off. And then I'm gonna delete it, well, not delete it, but I'm gonna comment it out again because I don't think we need it. Okay. Let's do another railway up. One thing I learned about railway, I think, is that it pushes up. I know, so close, right? It's scary, isn't it? Yeah. I've done this a couple times before, though. That's why I leave my env file open, because I've noticed with this plugin that, like when you select things here, I'm using cloak, hide, and show secrets in VS Code. And if you close the file and open it, it flashes for a split second and someone can screen cap it. So I have to leave the env file open. Otherwise, it doesn't do it when I switch between tabs like this. But yeah, it's a little scary. Noted. Okay, how's this going? Did you celebrate Family Day today, Manny? I found out from ODAT that today is Family Day in Canada. I thought that was funny. Splashly said she doesn't celebrate it in her province, which is interesting because it sounded like it's a federal holiday, right? I'm not sure if you call something federal holidays something else in Canada, but okay, build's complete. President's Day in America. Yeah, but you're Canadian, right? Aren't you another Canadian? Okay, again, this might take a second to railway logs. Waiting for deploy to finish. It usually takes some extra time. Ah, self-employed. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Well, I took it easy today. It's a really cold day here, and we got some flurries that made it sound like it was going to snow a lot, maybe tonight, but it still hasn't. It's supposed to start an hour and a half ago, I guess. Okay, I think it's ready. I hate the snow. I love it. If it's gonna be cold, I'd prefer it be snowing. I don't just love the cold for the hell of it, though. I'm feeling good about this one right here. Still. There's no air here, though. What's the deal? I hate the snow and the cold. You just hate it all. It all sucks. Why didn't it message anything? Maybe it does need the ACL. Let's try it. Railway up again. A beach and hot weather. Yeah, I don't like it if it's really hot. But you know, for vacations, I can do it. But like all the time, I can't hang in the heat. I can hang much better in the cold. I was gonna create a task for connecting it to Directus, but I really thought it was gonna be quick and easy. This is the problem. Every time I build out these tasks, they're like out of sync and they're not the real steps. I didn't get to do a full, test it before. I wanted to kind of like run across the errors, but I do want to add task like a final review. Just so if you'd like to see a quick little, roundup, I think I should name that too, final roundup or a roundup or whatever. 5. Final roundup. I'm gonna say task add play with file uploads. I'm basically gonna duplicate this one, and then I'm gonna task swap. Swap doesn't really work as expected, but 5 and 6. I'm gonna say task edit 4 to be Directus S3 connection, because that's what we're working on now. We'll get it right someday. Okay, and railway logs. It's up and running, hopefully. A refresh. This one. What the hell, man? Can we see anything in our file manager? It's not showing anything in here. Inspect I. Detective animated. So everybody gets animated emotes? Is that like out of the box, or is that something you need to get with a certain number of subscribers or something? I still gotta make some emotes, man. Affiliates get 5, okay. Is there, I'm seeing here, I know like I can access these files by Is it just because of these? Should I have those on? Block all public access. Oh, that's a lot of emotes. I thought my emotes go up with the number of subs. Oh, after the initial 50 sub points. Yeah. Okay. I didn't want to block any public access, which is what it's on right now. Block all public access is off. Let me make sure some of the data is right. US-West 1, or do I use that one? I think it's US West 1. Bucket. I don't know if this is supposed to be private or not. Maybe this is wrong. try updating that. And I did update this. This is private. Partners get even more. Yeah, I knew they got a lot more, but before now, affiliates only got 5 tier 1 emotes. The rest were bits, tier plus. Oh, so are those rules new? Those new, are the new numbers of them now? Because that's what I was wondering. I thought animated was a partner feature, but I've been seeing them pop up more, which is cool. Wrong railway. Nice. New since January. Is my cam up like kind of high? Not that terrible. The other thing I'm wondering is, did it not? I mean, unless it uses these exact same ports, I don't think it would work. I don't think it would not be reading these values, you know? Maybe I need to define this, but I don't think I do. Or am I still looking at that here? Default value is just an empty string. See, this doesn't even show the root. I had this set to like my personal URL, but I think this should be this one. And they fill in the bucket and region for me. So that could have been the problem. There we go. Is it restarting? Look at all those avatars. That's weird. So it has been uploading stuff, I guess? Or maybe those are just in the database. How did I get here? Yeah, it's trying to load those, but I think because just took the API down. think. There it goes, kicked back in. Okay, cool, cool. So down here. Damn it, I keep doing that. It's all Manny's fault. I'm feeling good about this one. Save it, load it. Oh, it can't load it because the default is, oh no, it can load it. Interesting. Look at that. It's loading it from my API. That's interesting. So it uploaded them all in the root there, which means those would not be publicly accessible. So I think I should set a root. And by the way, the trick there was the URL was wrong. It should have been just S3. I had a custom one, but it should just be this because I'm doing the bucket and the region and whatnot. It's generating that for me. I guess I can't do an S3 storage driver local root. I mean, this repo is intended for public availability, so I could make the whole repo public. But actually, I guess it... Yeah, I do want the whole thing to be public, huh? Let's see. How does it look in all files now? So this only houses the files I've uploaded through my interface. It doesn't show, you know, other files and other folders. What happens if I create a folder named, is this like a virtual folder, media blog, there could be spaces and stuff? Oh, it scared me. That was loud. Jeez. Good quip. Raiders, welcome Raiders. Welcome Kid Queb. Thank you for the raid. Shout out Kid Queb. Did I spell that right? Ah, I did. It always feels so good when you spell it right the first time. So, welcome to Ched Life. I'm working on connecting Amazon S3 to my Directus Headless CMS. And we've just connected it, and now I'm kind of rethinking about this configuration stuff, because everything I upload through the API here, it shows up in my bucket, but it just shows up in the root with a weird frucked up name. I was thinking I would be able to sort them into these folders, but it's not the And these are currently not public, so I had to run and piss. It's good, yeah. Welcome back, Kid Club. We got this almost work. Well, it is working, but I think I'm going to change the way I want to configure it a little bit more. Let's see how, like, I'm trying to see. What does this button do? Replace the file. You set a title, description, tags. Wow, I can tag images. That's cool. Add a location. Stored in S3. So if someone downloads it, I can change the file name. Can't change the disk file name. I can edit it in here. Look at this. Rotate, flip, aspect ratio. I guess that's it. Crop mode. I can crop it. That's kind of cool. Yeah. What do you got a fire one to? Fire animated? Very nice. I can move it, ship it, bip it, bop it, smack it. So, I'm wondering now, should I upload my files through here through my media blog? I mean, Railway, it's okay. I think it's slow. Do you know, are they owned by Heroku? Is it a Heroku product? It's supposed to be like simplified? Because when I deploy it, it says it's using Heroku. I find it to be very slow, and they're indie, huh? Interesting. But I do like that it's not full. It's not like Heroku in the sense where I need to reboot it once in a while or whatever, or like, you know, it sleeps. The free tier is just always on. That's cool. Or if it does, it boots up kind of slow sometimes too, but yeah, so it's okay. I would want Heroku with completely free always on tier, because I think Heroku's easier. Railways, yeah, the Heroku alternative, another cloud. They're not like their own hosting necessarily, but they're like cloud platform, you know, to set up stuff. Like I'm hosting my database on Railway right now, and also this site as well. You know, I did deploy this site here too, so it is doing both of those. Hosted containers, yeah, I think they do build a container. I didn't have a container that I deployed per se. I'm just running like a node project basically, but they might containerize it in some way before they send it out under the hood. They kind of abstract all that stuff away for you, but it is pretty easy to use. It's just I'm a diehard Heroku now. Heroku's old school. I know it's not cool anymore, but Railway's cool. So I'm not totally sure I'd want to use this file manager. That's why I wanted to mess with this and see how it works. Because the way that my image X is going to look, or going to work, is it's going to read from a specific folder. Or it could read from the repo, but everything has to be from one source basically, and the source will be the bucket URL. So one thing I don't like is that everything gets uploaded into the same folder, and I guess that's okay, you know, for a CMS that's pretty common, and you would just manage all the files from in here. But what I want to do with ImageX is you upload the high resolution images to your S3, and then they take it and transform it from there. So that's where I'm thinking I want to add an extension. I think I want to create an extension that I'll call like my media whatever and I'll upload and manage files through there, and I can build kind of an interface. Because ideally I don't care about the, the options to like edit and stuff. I do want these, being able to add this information to a media asset. I would basically want this plus more. I want to be able to add additional fields to the assets. So that might be biting off more than I can chew, and a pipe dream. But let's see how it looks. Oh, I don't have my other data set up in here. We could set up my other data model. Oh shit, we got the connection. Connection is finally working, so play with file uploads. That's what we're doing now. How's that chapter chat looking? Queb, let's get some, I'm not sure what you were adding to it. But did you finish that? I think this is the year you're gonna launch something, man. I wanna see. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be chapter chat? Is it gonna be the email service? Send function? I think you might have some other ones. Those are the ones I know about recently. What's it gonna be? Launching is for losers. Yeah, you're right. Who has time to launch something? Then you have to maintain it. Ugh. Ugh. What a mess. Let's create a fake data model to just kind of, let's do like image. Maybe I'll call this media library. I can't do spaces like that. I guess media library. I like no dashes. I can do underscores. Media library. The IDs are cool. I don't think I'll need status or created by and stuff. Not for this demo purpose. Okay. Because I could just create a data type through here and then use, that to do it. Let's see. So this will have a title. Null is not, the title doesn't have to be unique. Should we move down to sitting mode? What? How loud is that? My sitting mode actually starts out too low. It should be higher. Usually go to 30.2 or 30.1. I don't know. How's this height-wise? Am I centered? It's decent. Okay. I got a USPS box as my footrest. This is the title. It doesn't need to be URL safe. Just use the regular formatted value. Okay. So there's a tile. Let's do the image itself. Where's that? Ooh, files. is required. Do not crop the images needed. Ah, I can choose a folder here. That's nice. So I can use the media blog. Let's look at advanced settings in case. Do not allow a null field. I don't need any of those. Required to be set. Oh, I see. This is just... No, that's not for displaying it. Display a tiny image preview. Okay. And then let's say I wanted to store something like... Well, I also want to store the location. Do they have one for just location, or is it map? Maybe we'll just do map. I'll call it location. Oh wow, there's a lot of options for it. I didn't realize that. A point. That can be null. It's not required. Should I call location name too? Interesting. Can you not create a location in Postgres? Or is that what the warning is in the thing about the GIS error? Where do I see that? PostGS isn't. Geometry type support will be limited. Maybe that's the thing, I don't know. No. Maybe it's a GIS thing. I don't know how to use that, but so I'm gonna want to store something like a season, what season the photo was taken in, or video, the media. It would be a multi or drop down select. See if there's any other fancy versions. I could do it as a slider. There's really no reason for that though. It's gonna be an enum. I don't know if I want to require it, but the first one will be spring. Summer. Fall. Do you say fall or winter? Oops, it should be a lowercase f. Fall. Winter. Do not allow other values. Do I need to say allow none? I mean, it's not a required field. Let's find an icon. Sun. Looks more like a brightness. Weather. Cloud. This is cool. I could do like conditionals if it's spring, fall, whatever. I could choose different icons in this interface. I'm not going to go through all that right now, but we could. So for example, if I wanted to say condition when the value equals fall, well, let's start with spring. The icon, do they have a flower? Oh, they did right there. Spring, local florist. What color should spring be? I guess I will do it right now. It's just, I get so caught up in this little thing. It's just fun. Yellow. Pastels. A green. That's okay. Okay, and then when it equals summer, we'll do it kind of like an orange sun, I think. WB sunny. When it equals fall, let's see, is there a leaf? Or plant? I'm not totally familiar with their icons. Let me get a closer look here. What says fall? If anything. I mean, I'm looking for a plant or tree. Where's items? I don't understand how these are categorized, to be honest. This is like services, charting. How you feeling these jams? See, I like that one. What's that called? For sun. I gotta change that. There's a moon. Ooh, there's a sunrise, too. See, here's some things. Show me some trees. Show me some leaves. Fall fire. You got a sailing boat. No trees or leaves. There's a winter one. Is that plants? That's a good summer one. Beach umbrella. Was that Fitbit? Wonder if I can request icons in here, or like what icon library this is, their own maybe. I really don't see anything for fall. Okay, we'll go with the compost symbol. And this could be like a dark orange. We'll have to see how it looks next to the other one. Let me fix that summer icon real quick, because I don't like this one. It was one of the last ones. I thought. Let's do that one. Oh, that's Twilight. Should we do the beach thing instead? Where was that one? There it is. I like the beach access. In winter's a no-brainer, right? Winter, white, and the icon's near the bottom somewhere. It's the first one in one of these. There we go. AC unit. Okay. So I think that's good enough for now. I mean, there's more fields I want to attach to it. I didn't draw out that model, but I do have some notes, some other places for it, so I might have to do that off stream. Our media library, create an item, title, I don't know, let me pick a picture first. I'll do everything's fine again. And I'll say a smoky fire tickles the night. Okay. And I'm going to delete these files at some point, so let's just say I do have some. Do I have them on my desktop still? Here's my Canada picture from today. Happy Family Day! Family Day 2022. I just thought that was such a cute, what is this, winter? Mm-hmm. See, that's kind of cool, right? It's cute. It's cute. I could choose file from library so I don't upload a new one because I already do have duplicates there. Let's pick this one and let's say it's a wintry mix. No, we already did winter, and we did fall. Summer and Abaddon. Get the reference? And there's summer. And let's do one more for spring. Springtime lilies. Did I spell that right? Oh, I want to select or choose file from library. I'll do this one again. Cool. So there's like with the season formatting. See, it's cute, it's fun. I get a little preview of it. Let's see what this data looks like. Hello, Adrian Acosta PR. Thank you for the follow. I don't know if this is what it would look like if it would be one-to-one with the exports. But I want to see the JSON. Will that open? What will that open with? I did an example earlier too. So the image is just like an ID. And then how do I get that image? I think I can preview the URL from like this, open an image in new tab. So it's /assets. Do I need an access token? Or can I? You don't have permission to access this. Is that the same key as these other ones? What was the number? Oh yeah, the keys are the same because those images are the same. But it was 158. Yeah, that is. System small cover access token. So I wonder how I would like connect to show that on the front end. If it has media. But I like the idea of like just creating this media content library. Downside is again, everything gets shoved into here in one folder. It makes multiple sizes, so that's why there's like multiple of these. You see how the file size goes up? But then to connect my ImageX API, how would I connect to it with a key? Actually, I wouldn't need to because the idea would be if I know this name, then I know the URL of it in here, right? Because I know it's a JPEG. Well, do I know it's a JPEG? I just had the image ID. It didn't say anything about like the type. Let's try real quick. If we go into our admin and we do, where's our roles and permissions? Where do I set the permissions for things here? Is it in here? Yeah, there we go. So I can say people can see the media library, and then that allows me to access this on Mega API. That's not my normal URL. I mean, that's my railway URL. It should just be ched.dev/assets/ Let's see if this works. Forbidden? Do I have to turn on images or assets or what do they call it? Did I not save that? No, it saves automatically. You don't have permission to access this, buddy. Where would I control the access? Let's look at their docs. We did the configuration. Like, how do I switch into dark mode? I have it on my other browser, but it's just not working on this one, and I don't understand why. And I don't know how to turn it on. Connecting data. There it is, files. I forgot that was split. I remember last time I looked through all these and I missed the items and went down to collections directly. I feel like those should be thrown in down here below too. They try to separate them to say like, these are the ones you're mostly gonna access, but retrieve a file. Accessing a file? Yeah, that's it. While you may technically be able to expose your storage adapter's root file system and access your raw files through there, it is recommended that you always use Directus API. This is the only way that you can take advantage of file permissions and other built-in features. So you can append exclamation point, or not, question mark download to download it, requesting a thumbnail. Key the storage asset preset. It does like some transformations for you if you want. But how do I just, do I have to request it? This is like API level. And uploading. Okay. Yeah, it just says that I should just view it at the URL, assets / whatever, but I tried that and it says forbidden. I wonder if that's because of the preset. I don't have a preset set. What if I did something like this on it? On the end of it. No, it still gives me the access. You don't have permission to access this. Is that because I don't have settings, roles and permissions, public files? This should be wide open. I think that could be why. There it is. There it is. That's the raw. And then they gave us this like, little example URL. Width, height, quality. So I wonder if we can use custom, and we can say like, I don't think we need to oh, that's an and/or group. Like I could say if it's in a specific folder name, allow it. Okay. So I don't have to expose everything there. So, for example, this would not be viewable, but all these would. So that works. But something like this one works because we have the access token on the end of it. But if I take it off, it doesn't work anymore. I think the more ideal solution would be to make a group that can view it. Or I guess there's public. That is the public group. I'm clicking into here. Anyone in the public can view files that are in, if it's in this that folder. And we can lock it down to specific fields too. I wonder if there's a way to say like it's an avatar. Storage. S3, is that what the storage would be, you think? Because they have multiple ways to store files. So I asked them about the share feature. They said this is an upcoming feature where people can like share, create a share URL with it or something like that. That'll be cool in the future. What icon do I want for media? Little picture icon. Activity and revisions, only track activity. We'll keep revisions on. So now I get this cute little icon. I wonder if I can make that the default. Let me look at something else real quick. I made some notes. Here we go. So I wanted to like have responsive image sizes, which can be handled by ImageX. You can upload specific types. Storing alternate sizes, that can be achieved through their image manipulation API or through ImageX. So I guess I have two options there. Where do they talk about the manipulation? Is it just these, I guess? I guess there's not a lot. Oh, you can return like a WebP. Oh, there's advanced. Full Sharp API. And I can build these pre-configurations for it, like these storage access presets, which allows me to just say like thumbnail, and then it's going to be width and height of 50, specific quality, specific all these settings, right? Or like full screen image, full bleed, whatever. I can create all those. Where do I create those? I don't know. Those might be in code. Those might come through in here. I don't know. Where would I put that? Maybe that only counts for upload. Fields may override this value. Did I pick that when I uploaded mine? In my media library image. I did pick a folder. How would you do those transformations though? Presets of bookmark. No, it's a different preset, I think. Those are like bookmarking presets. Like it says this, storage app. Oh, custom transformations. This is all through the query API though. Oh, does it include mixif or exif? I really want to try that because I want to keep that information. Yeah, so my next stream will be about how do I connect this with ImageX in the way that I want. I just kind of wanted to see how the uploads work in here, in Directus. I don't see where I set any, or where I see all the presets. Like, a shortcut for the below parameters. Where would I set those? Can I create those, or are those just defined by the CMS? I think they're defined by the CMS, but I don't really know where I... Oh, project settings. So maybe here. Aha, there it is. So in the project settings, files and storage, I can create a new preset. And from here, I can do a lot of different things. Let's see. So if I wanted to make like a fit inside, let's say like a circle image one. I'm gonna do like a 200. I'll keep the quality. The height is 200. Format, let's try WebP. Additional transformations. I don't, well, I want the circle one. Composing? Wow, I can do like color burn and color dodge and stuff. That's kind of crazy. Can blur. Claw. Interesting. I don't know what that looks like. Is there a trim circle or something? Boring pixels. That picks the file type. They might not have like a circular thing. But I could do something like blur. So let's do I might have to set up a composite, like have an image circle and then composite it that way, but I could do that in ImageX a little easier probably. Where did I just see like the blur and stuff? Image operations, or we could rotate it. Sigma. So how would these look? Not in JavaScript, but I want to see that example again. That was in the API reference files. Something like this. Blur. Copy paste. There we go. Oh, what is this? Is that like add an example or fill with template value? Yeah, I don't want all that. I just want that. Did I not name it? Oh, I didn't. Key Blah. There we go. I'm surprised I could save that without naming it. Do I need a Mapbox access token to be able to do location stuff, maybe? I don't know. Okay, let's save that. So then now, if I wanted to access like this thing, I could do key equals blur. Boom! Look at that blur. Look at that blur. 45 is a bit much, but that's kind of cool. So this is effects coming from Directus features, basically. because we're accessing it through their URL /assets/file ID, and then question mark is some of our parameters that we can give it. Key blur. You like this alien song? It's kind of weird, huh? Turn it down a little. I think that's a bit too much bleh. Too much bleh. It's a WebP. Do you think like 10 is lower or higher? I don't know. There it is, lower. Okay, cool, cool. So if you wanted to like blur a background, I'm surprised it's this small. Is that how small my original was? Oh, because they limited it to a width and height. Let me drop that. No width or height limits, and I'll just I'll say fit inside, I guess, in case you pass your own. There we go. So that's like a bigger size, and then it's a little blurry. I mean, blurry, of course, but like I can see some of the compression because I have the quality set to 80%. Does it create these files though, like in my S3 storage when I do that? That's interesting question. I don't think it does. I feel like it does that on the, oh no, it does. That's my image with the blur. So, copy image address. No, it still says that. That's weird. Maybe it creates it. I think that's it, 1943, 44. It creates it and stores it there for me. Temporarily? I don't know. It could be permanent. Like this one's a little different because it has different settings. Wow, 952 bytes? But I think that's the real short one. See, that was the smaller one we did. Okay. So I need to find a solution for just putting everything in one folder. I thought it would be nice and clean, but if I'm gonna manage it through Directus, it won't be. So I gotta think about that. How do I wanna do it? How do I wanna do that? But we did learn a few different things here. Let's do a final roundup. Directus S3 file storage. So only files uploaded through the Directus admin will show in the Directus admin. No prior files shown. Could be obvious to some people, maybe not so obvious to others. But basically, blow this shit up. Basically, we have to upload the file in the admin interface to be able to see it and serve it through the admin interface, of course. We can't just connect like our bucket and then say, you know, expect to see all the files in here that were already in the bucket. That's not gonna happen. Yo, it ain't gonna happen, all right? The other thing was, I mean, we got snagged up on that folder name thing. I'm not sure if that's really a major point or not. I'm not sure if I would fall for that again now that I know that. setup with S3 was fairly easy, I'd say. I expected more hangups. Followed AWS docs. The hardest part is getting the public settings right. Directus docs. The other, I guess then the first thing is the only files uploaded through Directus live in the Directus. Folders created in Directus are virtual and not reflected in storage. All files are top level, basically. So that's about a little bit about the way it works. It's worth noting. You can image fields can choose which folder to upload to. Avatar images are uploaded to the root. And allow access by default. We need to expose any, or we need to, what was that? In roles and permissions, public, we need to make viewable on the Directus files. We don't actually need to show the media library. Just by making that available, I think it makes this available. Media library, what did I call it? Oh, it was media underscore library. There we go. So we can see here, this is all the files. That's what this actually changed. I could keep this off and then it wouldn't be publicly accessible. So we didn't necessarily need to do that. This is just for JSON. What we needed to do was go into public and Directus files and set read to custom. Let me write down some of these paths here. So settings, roles and permissions, turn on public files for a folder. Is settings, roles and permissions, public, and then show more. Oh no, system collections. System collections and Directus files, read, use custom. Read. This looks really far down there. Ooh, custom. This looks like it's really deeply nested and hard to get to, but it's kind of obvious. It's not that hard. And then we added items in the public role can read. Field permissions. We added item permissions, folder name contains media blog. And this should actually just be equals. There's no need to say contains, because then that would also, if we had like media blog saved or something else, it would match that as well. So we don't really want to match that. And then add a filter of folder name. Add filter folder name equals media blog. Okay, so that's good. I'll turn this one off for now. And you should be able to still be able to access the files correctly. So for example, if I go here, I can no longer access this. You do not have permission. But if I wanted to view the images, I can still, because this URL up here is just going through the assets, which is the file, Directus files, and it's not actually going through, even though it was assigned through our media library data, we can access it directly here because it's in that folder. Fortune is still open. Okay, we did those. You can use where was I going with that? You can use I wonder if there's a way to set the avatars to default to a specific folder. I don't think there is. And I guess I should double check to make sure, like, does this work when I'm not logged in? It does. Okay, how about, like, the avatar image? Maybe it's not true that they... So I think this will work with the token in it. System media, or system medium cover. But if I drop off that token, yeah, it fails. I would like to allow my extension to run in this mode, please. Details. Allow an incognito. Refresh. There we go. Okay. I really need a dark mode of this extension. I wonder if they make one. So that would fail. So the avatars are not publicly accessible by default. Splashly Raid! Oh my goodness! Hey Ryan Hawkins, how's it going? Shout out to ya girl Splashly. Thank you for the raid. We are working on some Directus, which is a headless CMS tool. I'm actually just finishing up, kind of reviewing all the stuff we did. We connected S3 for file storage. And we found some things out about how it works. And we need to evaluate how we want to connect it into our second layer of imgix.com, which is an API for manipulating images that I want to hook up as well. But Directus has some cool built-in things for you. For example, you can use the whole Sharper API, which allows you to like add blur, and you can do image compositions, and you know, like change the color and all kinds of stuff, cool stuff like that. So we played with that a little bit. What were you doing? What were you doing over there, Splashly? And I heard you don't celebrate Family Day in your province. What's the deal? Is it not a federal holiday? Valenier, thank you for the follow. Do they call them federal holidays? Holidays that are across the whole? You were failing at being a dev. Well, that's good. At least you were doing it on stream for everyone to enjoy. Yes. I actually kind of lucked out. So I set up my S3 bucket. I've never done that before. And I hated, like I was a avoiding it. I was afraid I was going to dock stuff on stream, so I did it all off stream, and it was actually decently easy. But yeah, I've had some of those struggle streams. Quebec doesn't? Aren't they supposed to be like French, like family lovers? That's weird. Weird that they wouldn't do that. I'm not Canadian, but I have so many Canadian friends on Twitch, and I learned that was a holiday, and I thought it was fascinating. I'm American, so we're celebrating President's Day today. There is so many Canadian streamers, though. Honestly, I think I follow more Canadian streamers than American. Maybe it's equal by now, but I do follow a lot of them. Great people. So that's why I wanted to I actually learned from ODAT about the holiday. And I thought it was a joke at first, I must say. ODAT nerd. Yep, he taught it to me. So he's celebrating today, he said. Good for him. So you didn't get the day off then, or do you guys don't observe it? I mean, I guess, are you still in school? You're still in school, right? Yeah. Wait, how are you not following ODAT? For real, right? Yeah. Definitely follow ODAT. I usually hang out in his channel and watch his stuff. He's got tons of cool projects going on. Another Canadian on the top. All my favorite streamers are Canadian. I should get him to make one of those stickers. You know, he's got a store set up and he's got some cool stickers in there. That would be a cool one to see. All my favorite streamers are Canadian. You got some of the stickers? I debated getting some. I don't know how to get to it, but ooh, excuse me. Cough there for a second. Thank you for the bits, Splashly. Unfortunately, there's nobody dropping at the moment to play with them, but. Yeah, he does go on late. I'm usually on pretty late, so that's why I get to see him a lot. He usually goes on after me, but even when I'm watching. All right, Splashly, thank you for the raid. Sweet dreams. Good night. Don't dream about code. Ooh, 9313. Last week I worked a bunch. It was launch week at work, and one night I was coding all the way up to bedtime, and I ended up dreaming about code. Because if I code all the way up to bedtime, I still have it on my mind, and then I fall asleep, and I'll have dreams of PRs. Getting kicked back, not getting approved, or like bugs that are haunting me. It's fun. Not that bad. So, we're gonna find someone to rate in a second, but I wanna make sure that I wrote down all the things that we recapped on. I started this thought, you can use, and then I did not finish it, so I don't remember what it is. Setup with S3 was fairly easy, followed AWS docs, Directus docs. Only files uploaded through the Directus admin will show in the Directus admin. So anything in the bucket would not be there unless you've added it through the Directus admin. Folders created in Directus are virtual and not reflected in storage. All files are going to be in the top level. This could be configurable, but not necessarily all files are in one folder. Because if you configure it to be in a different subfolder, they could be not top level, but they'll all be in that one folder. Image fields can choose which folder to upload to. Avatar images are uploaded to the root and allowed access by default, which is not true. I want to remove that. or figure out how to allow access images. Let's see if there's anything on there that I can do on those. I would have to add a tag to it manually. Because if I added a tag, then I can add it to my filters of public things. So I'm not sure how I would make that publicly accessible by default unless I turned it on for all files, which is not ideal. Assuming you want some, hidden files. But I can do it by folder, so I said anything in this folder is publicly accessible, so everything inherits it. These are the same image twice. That's my nice little, everything's fine. And I can add a location. How can I, maybe this doesn't work. I don't know what I would type in there, honestly. I tried to do a location thing, it didn't work. I would like to, maybe I need to hook up media, what do they call it? Mapbox, not media. Mapbox to be able to get that features. It was giving me some kind of error. Let's see, is there anything in here that I can filter? Maybe if it was uploaded by like system? Or was this uploaded by the owner is the user? Open the file library folder. That's something I could ask the chat, the Discord, I mean. Novel Ams, thank you for the follow. We could look in here. I've used their Discord for help a couple of times. I do Command F, and that will get me in help, and I'll say avatar, see what anyone says. File upload permission to only a folder specified and rename the uploaded file to the user ID, or do I need to create custom endpoint? That's a good question. A hook. I'm not sure if a hook is the right way. That'll take some research. Let's just say that. Let's say are uploaded to the root and not accessible by default. Not accessible publicly. Because they are accessible within the interface because it generates a token for you. So for example, in here, when I like right click and I say open image in a new tab, it attaches an access token onto the key here, and that allows me to view it in there, so I can view other users' avatars, I believe. Of course, because I would like to be able to view other people's avatars, but I guess I could allow it if it has an avatar title, starts with avatar, but no, that was the name of the file actually. That was not something that they attached. Okay. So that's something that needs looking into. Didn't get to blow this text up. Research. How do we show avatars publicly? And you can turn on the public files for a specific folder by following these rules. This rule down here. What did I say? You can use, image transformations. Image transformations. or create predefined, what did they call them? Storage asset preset, or create storage asset presets in the admin interface. That goes into settings, project settings, project settings, and that was down in files and storage and transformation presets. Files and storage, transformation presets. So this is one that we made. We say it's going to fit inside. It's got a 80% quality, a WebMP, and we added the blur. That's what we used for this one right here. And you can see we call it up top with the question mark key blur. Otherwise, it's just the /assets/file ID. Yeah, the zoom is built into Mac OS. It's called like the magnifier in the accessibility. And I changed my hotkey, so if I do Control-Alt, it just zooms into it here. But there's a few ways you can do it. If you're on Mac OS X, check it out. It's a really cool tool. I like it. Back to my notes. In the URL params or create storage presets. Image sharp support with image sharp support. Anything else that we learned today? Image sharp gives you a lot of stuff to do. Let's look at our... So it ended up creating a bunch of files in our thing here, in our bucket. That's something worth noting too, I think. Image transformations creates a file in your storage disk, on your storage disk. They call it storage disk. And that's basically the cached version. I could choose a subfolder. I'd have to play with that, depending if I want to put everything in the root or not. I might end up changing that. Since I played with this, I would go through and delete all these files, re-upload them. I was just playing for fun. Anything else you missed? Scream now or forever hold your peace. You can do a lot of image transformations in here too. You can like crop and stuff as well. Images have a title, description, and tags. And it says there's metadata, so that's what I wanted to see. Actually, was there metadata? Can I pull? Well, the images I uploaded did not have metadata. I'll have to figure that out and come back next time. I think that's it. I think I am happy with that. How do we show avatars publicly? How do we integrate IMGIX? I knew it would mess that up. IMGIX client can we build an IMGIX extension? Learn spelling. Learn it. Learn to love it. And what else did I want to know? Maybe that's it. No one I know is streaming right now. Let's look in the software and game development category and see who's up. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Working on online talking dictation. Hi, you. React.js point of sale system. There's not a lot of people streaming right now. Is this all the people streaming? It's only like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 41 people? And a good amount of it is probably dev, but currently Crutchcorn is recommended from Griffin's channel. That's where I usually land when I try to go to Twitch. So let's check that out. They are writing a dev book. Learn React, Angular, and Vue all at once. Ooh, I was about to paste it into his chat, but I think I should be pasting it into my chat. All right, we're gonna go raid Crutchcorn, check out what they're working on. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna come back next time and probably look at adding the ImageX support and getting that working. Maybe later this week. All right, thanks for tuning in. We will check you on the other side, okay? Okay, love you, bye.